It's a power struggle between the TPLF and the Ethiopian government. And the people that are losing and that are always gonna lose in this conflict are going to be the poor and working class people of Ethiopia, because neither faction support the masses.
Mira que ya viene la revolución, para que se asustan será pa' mejor. Es el pueblo entero el que ya está gritando, viva la revolución.
Iranian nuclear weapons development.
They have turned the island into a communist hellhole.
The experiment in Venezuela has failed completely.
A lot of what we're seeing in the media is very one-sided, of course, centered around this idea that the TPLF, or the people of Tigray, is a region in northern Ethiopia, is going through some sort of famine, actually even a genocide, and that type of rhetoric is being used to potentially impose a coup in the country of Ethiopia. But what we don't necessarily see in the mainstream media is an understanding of who are actually the key players in this conflict. And I would say it's a couple of people, but more specifically, it is the ruling class, and it's divided by the TPLF and the Ethiopian government, both of which consume and are a part of this ruling elite that have very similar, I would say, goals in which they want to amass a certain amount of political economic power. But both, I think, are just being selfish in a certain way. So TPLF right now is being used by the West because Dr. Abiy Ahmed, who used to be the West's, I think, neoliberal darling, as he has received a Nobel Peace Prize. He helped create the peace deal between Eritrea and Ethiopia. So there's a lot of rhetoric around that. He hasn't really been listening to them in regards to kind of making sure that they go about the certain economic policies of the state itself. And as a result, TPLF found it to be advantageous for them to say, hey, this is the time for us to come together and basically attempt this power struggle. So that's really what it is. It's a power struggle between the TPLF and the Ethiopian government. And the people that are losing and that are always gonna lose in this conflict are going to be the poor and working class people of Ethiopia, because neither faction support the masses.